Hi Todd, making you just a quick, well, it might not be that quick, but making you a video to be able to show and tell a little bit of the skills that you're asking about with having your own videos, which I'm in my Google Drive right now. This is the window you see open. And in my Google Drive, I just have a couple videos that are my videos. These are me teaching, right? And I'm going to use these videos and I'm going to get them into, I've got a couple tabs open here. I've got Google Drive. I've got Flint, I've got YouTube, and then I'm going to throw another one at you, and that is Ed Puzzle here. Okay, this tab I keep going back to down here is my Screencastify one. You won't have that. But between these tools, these three being the required pieces, Google Drive, Flint, and YouTube, and then I'm just going to throw Ed Puzzle at you as another tool that you can use. So starting with Google Drive. So Google Drive is where I have my video file stored, and I'm just going to download this video file. In fact, I've actually already downloaded it, so I won't do it again, but here is your download button right there. Let me highlight that. Sort of right here is your download button. So you're going to click on that to download it, and you can see there it is. There's my download that I'm going to use. Okay. So in order for Brisk to work in YouTube, the YouTube video must have a transcript attached to it and subtitles. Okay. Well, to create a transcript of a video pre-AI, you would literally have to manually enter the transcript of the video. But God love AI because Flint is going to do this for us. So you can see now I've popped over and I'm now in Flint, my AI teaching assistant, and I am going to ask Flint, can you create a transcript of a video lesson, please? Okay. And that's going to take me into a new chat. And it's going to say, of course I can do that. You need to give me the video that I need to use, of course, right? So again, let me get rid of Screencastify. Here is my video lesson. And I'm going to go ahead and use the paperclip. And there's my video that I downloaded, and I'm going to go ahead and open that. And the bigger the video, the longer this is going to take, of course. That's why I'm using a small one as an example. I think this is about a 3-minute video to give you some perspective. So if you've got like an 85-minute lecture, this is going to be a much more laborious process. So you can see it's 3 minutes and around 19 seconds. So I'm telling it, here's my video lesson. Bada boom. Okay. And thanks. Perfect, right? You know what I needed to do it is, can you please put the transcript of the video into a downloadable TXT file? And again, it's got to think. Here it goes. It's creating my document for me, and it'll probably pop open on the right-hand side of my page in Flint. I don't want to stop generating. And there it is, right? So there's my transcript file. Okay, and I am going to go ahead and download that. Okay. And then here also is the text, which is great. And I'm going to leave that open for a minute because I think it's kind of important to be able to come back to that possibly. We may need that. So I'm not going to get rid of it. All right. So now in my downloads, I've got two critical pieces here. I've got the actual video file. That's the one that has the Google Drive icon on it. And I've got the transcript of that video. So now I can go to YouTube, and I'm just in the normal YouTube page. But over here, let me make sure I've got my highlighter on. I'm going to go over to this create button, and I'm going to upload a video. And I'm going to select a file. And remember, those two critical files we had, there they are. That's the video file, and I'm going to open that. And again, the bigger the video, the longer this is going to take. Okay, and it's working on uploading a video. And now we've got to work our way through these 4 steps of settings that we're going to work on. Okay, I usually let it pick the thumbnail for me, but you can go back to that later. I have a folder I want this put into. I'm going to say, no, it's not made for kids. That's usually referencing people that are under the age of 13. If I'm not mistaken, that's not us, so we're good there. Okay, so that's my details. I'm going to say next. Yes, this is where we want to add subtitles. Okay, and I want to upload a file, and I don't have the timing in that file. It's just the text file, okay? Mine has that .doc extension on it, yeah, which is going to be a problem. So I have to just really quickly go into my Finder and rename this file. Thank you so much, Flint, but we just want the TXT, and yes, I'm sure. Okay, so that was just a little extra step there. Okay, so I'm going to continue, and now I can grab a hold of that. It's got a lot of googly gook in it, and I think it's because it was a Microsoft file, and I'll show you how we're going to fix that. Yeah, see, we don't want all of that, right? That's why I kept this open. I just want this. Copy. Back here. Paste. Boom. Okay, and I'm going to tell it I'm done. Okay. That's all I need to do here. Next, it's checking if I violated any copyright law, which it won't do until it's done processing. Small video, shouldn't take long, but I can go ahead and blow through that. And then I'm going to make it public because I am going to try and use this on Edpuzzle, and I'm going to go ahead and publish. Okay. All right, I'm done. It's still doing some processing, which is totally fine, but I'm done for now, okay? So now to be able to Brisk that, it does have to finish the process. And I'll show, so we'll come back to that Brisk step in just a second. And while it's doing that, let's just quickly, oh, it's done. Yeah, it's done. Perfect. Okay, let's actually do this then. So here's my video, and I'm gonna go ahead and watch this on YouTube. And I've got my volume turned off, and I'm actually not seeing my subtitles, so they might not be ready yet. The subtitles might not be. Let's see if it'll create without them. Yeah, it won't create without the subtitles, so I am trying to rush this a little bit too much. Let me close that. Okay, so while that's still processing, we will pop over into Edpuzzle. So this may be for not, you can fast forward this. If you know Edpuzzle and you know how to use it, awesome. My only suggestion to you would be to consider putting your YouTube video that is your own YouTube creation into Edpuzzle and then assigning it to your students. That's a whole like added lesson, and we can go through that together. But what's the why behind that? Well, the why behind that is you can see like you can have your classes over here, and you can track, for example, so I can take a look at this video, and let me actually go to a video where I didn't put any questions in it. Okay. So whether or not I have questions, so here I don't have questions in this video. I just wanted them to watch it for watching its sake. And I can still see whether or not they got the work done, right? The other thing that I can do is take those questions that you're going to get from Brisk and come in, and I can add them into this content so that when the students watch the video, they are asked to answer questions along the way. And you can see here sort of the questions that are companions to this video that the students are going to be asked to watch. That's the added benefit of putting it into Edpuzzle. You could put the questions like all at the end. I mean, they don't have to come along with the content. You know, you give them a piece of paper with the questions on it, or it's in a Google Doc file, and they still have to answer the questions, say, on paper, but they're forced to watch the video through Edpuzzle. That's why I showed you that example of one that does not have questions. Yeah. It looks like it has two, but all those are notes where I've said there's no questions, just watch and learn, right? And then the last one, so I put it at the end to make them watch the video, watch it all the way through, and so then they're skipped. So that's just sort of this added piece there, again, if you want to, but if not, let's go ahead and refresh my YouTube screen. Let's try and watch this now in YouTube. And I still don't have my subtitles. I might have to show you the brisk part on a different video, which is totally fine. Let's just double check our settings here though. Okay. Yeah, it's there. So it's still just processing. Um, Subtitle processing can take hours. So this is one of those things you want to make sure you get done in advance. So let me just show you brisking with, let me just go over to regular old YouTube. Let me show you how to brisk a YouTube video that is different, right? There you go. Federalism, crash course government. Okay, so here's that video, right? And I'm just going to click on my little brisk guy down here in my bottom right corner. And I'm going to ask it to create a quiz. I want it to, um, write this usually is auto-populated, a quiz about this YouTube video, okay? I want it for 12th graders, even for my 11th graders, I usually say 12th grade, you get the idea. And then multiple choice, and I want it to be 20 questions. And next, we'll have it pop it out to a Google Doc. And hopefully it'll do the needful. And it saves automatically to your Google Drive, automatically labels it that. So I might want to go in and write a new, I don't know if I can rename it while it's, I don't think I can. But there you go. So it's creating this quiz. And now I've got these, and you could just print this and make copies for them, and then they watch the video. Or like I said, you could put this into Edpuzzle, you can do whatever you want with it. So there's a lot of like added options there. If you don't like what it did, so it's done, is there anything you want to change? Make it more difficult, make it less difficult, make it shorter, make it longer. Add on an answer key at the end so they can check their work, add some short answers, etc. Totally up to you there. All right. So lots that I've shown you there. And I think maybe if you want to, let's get together and go through all of this, especially if you've never used Edpuzzle and are intrigued by that added element, we can for sure do that. Okay. To wrap up, I'm going to bounce back around here. You go to your Google Drive, you get your video you want, and you download it. You run that video through Flint, asking Flint to create for you a transcript. So you've got two pieces of data that then you can add into your YouTube Studio. So we've got YouTube Studio as part of our membership, and that's where you can upload your own content to the studio. Okay. Once those subtitles appear, then you can brisk it and it will create a quiz for you. And then I threw in there Edpuzzle as well as another tool that now that video can be run through Edpuzzle. Okay, that's a lot. I hope that was not too much. Let's get together and go through that. All right, speak soon. Bye.